Good morning. Start your day informed and ahead. Today is Wednesday, the 17th of June. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
And I'm Cheska Litoncala. We're bringing you the perfect mix of the headlines you need and the conversations that shape your day.
From the news desk to the digital space, we have got you covered. I'm Pauline Verzosa, and welcome to Morning Matters.
Now let's begin with the latest on the Senate. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano says he will accept the possible election of a new Senate president. Cayetano says after speaking with Senator Joel Villanueva, it appears the other side will soon have the numbers to elect a new Senate president. He adds he will not stand in the way of the vote, saying no leadership in a democracy is permanent. Cayetano also extends his congratulations and cooperation in advance to whoever the Senate lawfully elects. This comes ahead of the Senate special session today, June 17, to tackle urgent matters even as the Senate remains caught in a leadership dispute. Senate President Pro Tempore Win Gatchalian earlier urged all senators, whether from the majority or minority, to attend.
Well, nag-issue ako ng statement encouraging all senators regarding kung majority, minority ka to attend. These are very important matters, lalo na yung sa CA. In fact, yung sa CA, lumampas na nga sa doon sa time na dapat ibigay natin sa mga generals. But importante kasi ito, hindi sila mapropromote at makaka-apekto to sa kanilang mga gagawin later on.
Well, ayun na nga, aside from legislative measures, itong special session na to will also give attention to the possible, or alam naman natin, ito pinag-uusapan natin noon pa or the other day, the leadership moves in the Senate. And as we have it earlier, diba, pinag-uusapan natin regarding what Alan Peter Cayetano said na he's conceding and accept nga na whoever is going to be elected as the Senate President. But still, ang kanyang petition sa Supreme Court is still there. And finally, sabi ko nga, diba, pinag-uusapan din natin ito na once and for all, tapusin na natin ito, tanong na natin yung Supreme Court, saka sakaling may masabi sila, although nga sinasabi kasi since this is internal rules, baka may judicial overreach because co-equal branches. But then again, tapusin na natin once and for all. Tingnan natin kung ano masasabi ng Supreme Court regarding this.
And yun na nga, that was an 87-page petition. But also interestingly, wala yung signatures ni Senators Mark Villar, Joel Villanueva, and of course, Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Yeah, because he is still in hiding.
No one knows where he is.
So, but we're also gonna monitor what will happen to that petition because it might become eventually moot, lalo na kung may 30 numbers na rin naman itong new majority, enough to cement the Senate presidency of Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, because the prayer or what Senator Cayetano was asking the Supreme Court is to nullify, right, that June 3rd hearing where they elected Senator Gatchalian as the acting Senate President or Senate President pro tempore. But interestingly, there was also that video statement, diba, from Senator Cayetano where he said, sige, kunin na nila yung Senate presidency at lahat ng committees, pero kung sincere sila, iwan nila yung Blue Ribbon Committee sa kanila daw. Para ang buong katotohanan, para mailabas ang buong katotohanan at kahit mag-attend pa sila, hindi naman natin gusto ng hearing na isang side lang yung nandun. So, from that statement he released earlier today, parang wala naman siyang banggit na iwan nyo pa rin yung Blue Ribbon Committee, no? But that was one of his conditions yesterday when he released that video statement. So, tingnan natin kung ipapaglaban pa rin nila yung Blue Ribbon Committee na mapasa kanila.
Yeah, pero sinabi rin naman first and foremost ni Senator Erwin Tulfo, di ba sabi niya ganun, I will invite everybody to be part of that committee. Anyway, sa rules naman nila, kailangan may kasama sa minority. Di ba? So, they are welcome kung sino man yung ilalagay nila doon na mahahalal bilang part of that committee. And then, yun nga, dahil kahapon, pinag-uusapan, mamaya pag-usapan natin yung 18 bagbe, di ba? Pero moving forward, ito nga yung sinasabi mo, yeah, it can be true that it can be moot and academic, pero siyempre, for them, this is their principle, this is their pride. They have to, put it out there, and just in case, kasi may history naman ng Supreme Court na sumasagot sila, like yung sa forthwith. Actually, na-surprise nga yung side nila Senator Chis Escudero when the Supreme Court released a statement or ruling regarding the meaning of forthwith, diba? So, ito, maaari nila lang sabihin, tama pala yung ginawa ng because meron naman sila pinagbabasihan yung Avellino versus Cuenco, diba? So we'll see what's going to happen.
And yun, like every Tuesday yata may unbanked en banc meeting yung
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. So
They might have tackled it.
how much of it was read? I mean, I'm not sure what time the petition was given, but for 87 pages, I'm sorry.
Medyo matagal. Usually, di ba, hindi naman kaagad nagbibigay din ng, ng ruling ang Supreme Court. But we'll see. Hindi natin alam.
As we know, the special session will begin at 9 a.m. So, abangan natin yan. We know the senators might also want to settle this already early on in the day, di ba? Because they will be, of course, tackling yung mga pending measures. They might do that in the afternoon. So, it's better for them to get this out of the way. Ayusin na nila to, especially if they have the numbers para malinaw na sino ang ating bagong leadership sa Senado. Okay? But now in other news, the 18 individuals who identify themselves as former bodyguards of former Representative and fugitive Zaldico held a press conference in Mandaluyong, presenting renewed allegations involving alleged large-scale cash deliveries linked to various government officials and public personalities. The event was initially marked by tension outside the venue after attendees were barred from entering, resulting in a brief standoff. Several public figures, including Senator Amy Marcos and former Governor Chavit Singson, were also denied entry. The gate was eventually opened, allowing selected media and participants inside the venue, although no senators from the Cayetano bloc were present during the event. During the gathering, the group implicated several individuals, including former House Speaker Martin Romualdez, COMELEC Chairman George Garcia, and Senator Chis Escudero, among others. Former Congressman Mike Defensor also later clarified that the event did not constitute a formal Senate hearing.
Walang makapigil sa amin. Mapatay na kami lahat. Pero sasabihin namin na totoo, ang magnanakaw, Martin Romualdez and Marcos Jr., sila ang utak. Kaya sila nagpipigil.
Ang mga demokratikong institusyon katulad ng Senado ay binababoy, ginigipit, maging ang mga senador. Yun lang ang pagpunta nila dito ay marami ng mga pananakot na naganap, maraming panggigipit.
And so that is what their side is saying, no? Maraming panggigipit daw, pananakot from the government, from the executive, but we're not entirely sure in what way. Di pa nila nililinaw yan. And actually, yesterday, I almost thought that this supposed hearing or event wouldn't push through anymore because there were tensions early on. Hindi pinapapasok, di ba, si Senator Amy Marcos. The venue even said that no hearing will take place. Hindi
They're
nila,
not affiliated.
they're not
in
affiliated
any way
with this supposed event and the organizers, but it still pushed through in the afternoon at naging press conference na lamang nga yung itinuring sa iyon. And there were lots of allegations, new allegations made during this press conference. The bagmen now also tagging Senator Chis Escudero, saying they delivered maletas to his house in New Manila. Aside from Senator Chis, and then si COMELEC Chairman George Garcia, who already belied all these claims and said he never received money. And he also noted inconsistencies doon sa mga claims nung alleged bagmen. So tingnan natin because in the past, diba, marami na ring House lawmakers who filed cyber libel complaints for the allegations that were being made. And possibly, yan din yung pwedeng gawin ng ibang dinawit nila dito.
And then, Senator S. Pro Tempore, Sherwin Gatchalian, yung sinabi nga niya, former Congressman Defensor could be legally liable for misleading the public. He's not the chairman, he's not a member, he's not a senator, so why is he deceiving the public?
Yeah, exactly.
And it really was quite confusing yesterday because was it a blue... initially, when people had no idea what was going on, was it a Blue Ribbon Committee hearing? Was it a press conference? When we saw the statement of the venue distancing itself and then natuloy ulit siya, and then we saw Senator Amy not being allowed to enter, parang it was just very... What's happening?
Everyday ang dami nangyayari, di ba? So, yun nga, no? So, from hearing, Blue Ribbon hearing, to press con, to People's Forum. Yan
Yes.
yung mga naging terms dun sa pangyayari kahapon. But yun nga, tulad mga nabanggit nila doon, they just reiterated yung ibang mga kasangkot, pero they added new ones. And you can also note, there are some inconsistencies, di ba? But if try to look at it lang, no? First, of course, yung sinabi nila that they delivered an envelope of money to Father Flavi Villanueva along Mindanao Avenue, SVD, di ba? So, if somebody checked it. There's only 3 SVD church, no? Churches. There's one in Irod, which is the most famous one. The one in Kamuning, which is I did my first communion. Not that this necessary. I mean, important. Pero, and then of course the other one's the one in Santo Niño, Violago. So there are 3. There's no Mindanao Avenue or along Mindanao Avenue. And then there's this another inconsistent statement from them na sinasabi nila about the iPhone 16e that were supposedly offered to them noong 2024. Pero sabi nila, na-introduce yung iPhone na model na yun February 2025. And then inconsistencies also regarding Senator Laila De Lima or Congresswoman Laila De Lima. The time that they said that they delivered money was the time that she was still in prison. So, yung mga tao, hindi mo rin din maiwasan mag-isip na, okay, may inconsistencies here, and then the first time that you appeared in public, you said Senator Lauren Legarda was implicated also, di ba? Was included in your list. But when she was on the other side of the fence now, you're telling us, she's not included anymore. So talagang, ang maigi dito, sige, magsampa ng kaso, umattend din sila ng Blue Ribbon Committee para under oath yung mga sinasabi nila. And right now, yung ginawa nila yesterday, ay, wala silang legislative immunity because wala naman sila sa loob ng parliament, di ba? So, yun.
Another inconsistency pala is, I think, Senator Tito Soto.
Yeah,
When sinabi na 2020, he wasn't even a senator at the time. And yung
executive
nag-receive ng cash allegedly, he passed away in 2015. So many questions again, but we're gonna move over to sports because after 6 games of thrilling back and forth action, TNT, Tropang 5G, and Barangay Ginebra are set for a winner-take-all Game 7 in the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals. The Tropang 5G forced the decider after escaping with a Game 6 victory behind a monster performance from Chris McCullough, who finished with 53 points and 22 rebounds. Justin Brownlee matched him shot for shot, pouring in 52 points for Ginebra, however, coming up short in the final quarter. Now, after 6 games of haymakers and momentum swings, the series is tied at 3 games apiece. Game 7 is set today at the Mall of Asia Arena with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Okay, so again, in the battle of the finals appearances between Coach Chot Reyes and Tim Cone, Chot 5, Tim 3. Let's see if hahabol si
It's
Coach
always
Tim.
them, ano?
But what we also need to talk about here is the attendance.
Yeah.
Okay, so Game 6, I think, was a record-setting number for Smart Araneta Coliseum. That was 22,371 people.
Wow.
Okay, but the thing is, MOA Arena, okay, mas malaki ang seating capacity ng Araneta.
Okay.
Dan Arena.
But MOA Arena has a larger floor area. But MOA Arena naman, their highest attendance record was 24,883. So this was way back in 2014 pa, and of course, it was Ginebra versus San Mig Coffee. But with the rise in numbers of fans attending, like this is what you want to see for the 50th season.
Oh yes, of course.
Of the oldest professional league in Asia. So we love to see this because we love basketball here.
And it's a different experience live. So
Yes.
okay yan. Manood kayo sa venue.
Ang galing naman ni Brownie, tinitignan ko. 54 points, career high.
Career high.
My gosh.
It's been a battle of the imports talaga. No?
Yeah,
Chris
mga
McCullough
50 plus
Justin
games
Brownlee.
Oo.
Hopefully tonight we'll see more of that. And hopefully the local players will also get to show their mettle. They will get to test their mettle tonight against each other. Tingnan natin sinong makakapag-uwi ng championship.
So itong Game 7 na to, ito yung do or die na
Yun na yan.
sinasabi
Wala na,
nila.
wala na after
so may mga na yan. Kasi I remember watching it Kung sino yung magcha-champion, may naka-ready ng mga balloons, na gano'n.
So,
Abangan natin yan.
again, 2 of the best words in sports, Game 7.
Game 7.
Don't go away. Morning Matters will be back after a short break.
Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. With a special session of Congress set to open today, the palace is urging senators to fulfill their duties and help restore order amid the ongoing leadership issue in the Senate. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza has this report.
Sa ngayon po, ang obligasyon ng Pangulo ay ginawa niya. Nagpatawag po siya ng isang special session at nasa kamay na po ito ng mga senador kung kayo rin po ay tutugon sa inyong obligasyon.
This was emphasized by Palace Press Officer Claire Castro when asked whether senators had reached an agreement regarding the leadership issue in the Senate. This comes as the special session of Congress is scheduled to take place today. According to Castro, the president's desire is clear to see order restored and for lawmakers to carry out their duties.
Sa ngayon po, hindi natin alam kung ano ang tunay na sitwasyon sa Senado, pero of course, ang gusto ng Pangulo ay magkaroon ng kaayusan sa Senado dahil kailangan sila talaga magtrabaho.
Castro was also asked whether the palace is concerned about the possibility of disruptions during today's session.
Alam po natin na sila ay dapat na maging professional at sila naman ay mga senador at alam naman nila ang kanilang mga tungkulin.
She also agreed with the statement of Senator Panfilo Lacson that the majority bloc is prepared for any dirty tricks that Senator Alan Peter Cayetano may attempt during the Senate's special session.
Magandang balita yan dahil siguro nga po nakikita na natin even before kung ano ba talaga yung mga naging aksyon ni Senator Alan Cayetano, hindi lamang dito sa Senado, kundi pati sa House of Representatives kung saan hindi niya rin binitawan agad-agad ang posisyon bilang House Speaker. Kahit na mayroong usapan, may term sharing agreement, hindi niya agad ito tinupad.
Castro insisted that the issue should be resolved for the benefit of the Filipino people. Kapatid Mobile Journal Julie Baiza, we are One News.
The Senate special session will push through today, even as the upper chamber's leadership row remains unresolved. And for the latest from the Senate, we now go live to mobile journalist Marymon Reyes. Marymon, kamusta ang sitwasyon dyan?
Pauline, good morning. We're still waiting for the appearance of senators na pupunta ngayon sa special session because we know so far yung new majority bloc led by Senate President Pro Tempore Sherwin Gatchalian is a-attend sila. So sinasabi nila they have the quorum of 12. Adding to that is yung in-announce na commitment ni Senator Joel Villanueva na mag-a-attend din siya ng special session should it be called by the President. However, what we know so far is mukhang nakuha na rin ng Gatchalian bloc yung enough numbers para ma-elect na talaga siya or masemento na siya as Senate President. Na sinabi rin ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano who until kahapon or until kaninang umaga bago siya mag-post, maintains na siya pa rin ang legal and moral Senate President na in-inform daw siya sa kanyang pakikipag-usap kay Senator Joel Villanueva na mukhang makukuha ng araw netong majority bloc ang numero. So ito yung usual way of ousting an SP tulad nung nangyari last time kay Senator Tito Soto na nung pagdating natin doon sa session, sinabihan, nagsalita sa floor itong si Senator Cayetano na at least 13 senators would like a change in the leadership o yung tinatawag na kudeta, nagkaroon ng pagpapalit ng liderato ngayon. So yan yung inaabangan natin, yung pagdating ng mga senador sa session hall and by 9 p.m. yung pagsisimula ng special session wherein it is possible na makikita natin itong reorganization ng Senado. Puli.
Okay, Marymon, aside from Senator Joel Villanueva, may iba pa bang senators from the Cayetano bloc na posibleng umattend ng special session today? Kasi may mga bulong-bulungan na si Senator Mark Villar daw ay posibleng lumipat na rin.
Pauline, so far, ang sabi kasi last time ni Senator Erwin Tulfo, bukod dito kay Senator Joel na may commitment to join, pero nung huli yan sinabi, wala parang commitment na umanib. Pero ito na nga yung nilabas na sinasabi ni Senator Joel, mukhang nakukuha na yung numero ng Gatchalian bloc. May isa at isang lalaki at isang babae na rin daw na nakausap na possibly makabuo na dito rin sa decisive majority. So far, wala pang ibang indications from the other members of the minority bloc if they will be attending. Pero what we know so far, yung kahapon kasi, yung final na petition ng Cayetano bloc, doon sa petition for certiorari and prohibition nila sa Supreme Court, wala kasi sa pangalan doon si Senator Mark Villar. So nung tinanong natin yung kanilang opisina kung bakit wala yung pangalan ng senador, ang sabi, abroad daw, nasa ibang bansa itong si Senator Mark due to personal reasons. So yun yung sagot nila sa pagtatanong natin kung bakit wala yung pangalan niya sa petitioners doon sa SC petition na final nila. Pero on the part of Senator Joel, so far wala pa siyang kasagutan sa kung bakit wala yung pangalan niya doon sa petition, pero aabangan natin siya sa pagdalo sa special session ngayong araw. Mag-start ng 9 and they are seeing it ending around 4 to or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Pauline.
Okay, so Marymon, magsisimula na nga yung special session in about 8 minutes. Sino-sino na yung mga senador na nandyan?
So far, Pauline, dito kasi, ito yung isang dinadaanan ng mga senador na papasok ng session hall. And so far, since kanina, sa pagsilip natin sa loob ng session hall hanggang paglabas, wala pa tayo nakikitang senador so far na even dumadaan dito sa elevator. So yung isang pwedeng daanan nila, yung doon sa likuran, sa may executive lounge or senator's lounge, sa may likod ng rostrum. Pero ang huli kasi natin nakita sa loob ng session hall ay K9 units plus personnel from the Office of the Sergeant at Arms na gumagawa ng kanilang rounds para lang mag-inspect kung sakali man nga na mayroong kailangang i-address na threats to the security and safety of the Senate. Pauline.
All right, Marymon, about an hour ago, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano released an online statement conceding the Senate presidency now that he believes that the majority has enough numbers to cement the Senate presidency of Senator Sherwin Gatchalian. May naging tugon na ba ang kahit sinong miyembro ng majority dito sa naging statement at posisyon ni Senator Cayetano?
So far, Pauline, wala pa. At yan yung isa sa inaabangan natin sana na before mag-start yung special session, either si Senate President Pro Temp Sherwin Gatchalian o ibang members ng Majority Bloc ang plano nating makausap. And ang nakikita natin ngayon ay si Senator Ping Lacson, Senator Erwin Tulfo, napapasok na ng session hall.
Okay, Marymon, can you also walk us through the agenda today? Dahil kahapon naglabas ang Senate nung kung anong mangyayari ngayong araw. Walk us through the schedule.
So, jam-packed yung schedule nila for today. Pero usually, sa pagsimula ng session, yung reorganization ng Senate, yung isa sa nasa administrative matters. Pero on the legislations and yung bills na kailangang isalang nila, ang nakalagay doon na importante according to Senator Gatchalian is yung confirmation of promotion ng 5 general. Yung sa commission on appointments yan, around 11 a.m. daw, magbe-break muna yung special session, yun daw yung asikasuhin nila. And then sa mga panukala, isasalang nila yung mga yung patungkol sa pagpapadala ng assistance pa or ng tulong sa mga apektado ng Mindanao Quake, yung bills related sa agriculture ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan, yung ilan kasi na nabanggit doon ay kasama pa yung related sa education, yung GATSPE, yung vouchers for teachers, students in private education, and among others. So far kasi wala pang inilalabas na final agenda, pero yun yung nilalaman na sinasabi ni Senator Gatchalian na mahalaga. Dagdag na rin dyan yung Filipino citizenship ng 2 atleta na ilang beses na naudlot o nabinbin dahil nga sa naging gulo sa pagkukonvene o pagpapatuloy ng sesyon sa Senado. And then, tuloy-tuloy naman daw yun kapag around 11 yung commission appointments ang gagawin nila, and then more likely either kung magkaka-lunch break sila or hindi. And then hanggang sa hapon, tuloy-tuloy ang kanilang special session. Pero to note, yung special session na ipinatawag ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, ngayong araw lang siya nakaschedule. So, aabangan natin kung sapat na ba ang araw na ito o kung sakali man mabibitin at kakailanganin pa ng dagdag na oras. Pauline.
Okay, Marymon, mukhang isa-isa na ngang nagdadatingan ng mga senador dyan. Maybe walk us through the situation. What are you seeing there?
So we have here Senator Bam Aquino. At ang sinabi ni Senator Bam ay confident daw sila ngayon sa numero na nakukuha nila. So far nakita natin 3 senador na bago kasi tayo pumasok sa loob at mapagalitan tayo. Pero we now saw na dumaan dito sa elevator sina Senator Bam Aquino, Ping Lacson, Erwin Tulfo. And ang narinig natin na sinabi ni Senator Bam, kampante raw sila sa numero na hawak nila. Though ang sabi kasi last time na Senator Ping Lacson, bago magkaroon nga ng pronouncements, nakuha na ng Gatchalian Block yung numero, is ready sila sa kahit na anong pwedeng mangyari. That includes yung possible contesting sa pagpapatawag ng special session, kung sino raw ang magsisilbing presiding officer. Pero since ito na nga na nakikita na hawak na ng Gatchalian Block ang numero, maaring ang tatayo na talaga doon sa rostrum, katabi ng Senate Miss at hawak ng gavel ay si Senator Gatchalian as acting presiding officer. At kung sakali man sa organization ng Senado sa session mamaya, pwede na rin siyang masemento bilang SP.
Okay, we will leave
So we
you.
also have here Senator J.B. Ejercito.
All right, well, we will continue to monitor that situation. Thank you very much to our mobile journalist, Marymon Reyes, reporting live from the Senate. Now, meanwhile, veteran singer-actress Sharon Cuneta has strongly denied allegations linking her husband, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, to the controversy surrounding alleged cash-filled suitcases. In a Facebook post, Cuneta described those behind the allegations as liars. She explained that the photo presented during the press conference was taken during a family visit to Marawi to thank local officials and supporters who backed Pangilinan's successful Senate bid in the 2025 midterm elections. Pangilinan also rejected the accusations and warned that those responsible for dragging his family into the controversy would be held accountable. He maintained that the allegations were baseless and suggested they were intended to tarnish his reputation. Now, two Ateneo men's basketball players have spoken for the first time after the deaths of teammates Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili. In an interview with Pia Ontiveros, Kiefer Alas and Sam Reyes denied that the incident was part of initiation rites. They said the team was initially in shallow waters, but strong waves and current pulled them in until they could no longer touch the ground. Meanwhile, 9 former Ateneo players faced the PNP CIDG to give their statements, while another team member appeared before the NBI. Former head coach Tab Baldwin was a no-show again, but his lawyer says he will fully cooperate with all investigations.
And to get us closer, brotherhood.
Was it initiation rites?
No po, not at all. Just hurts how people, perceive it that way.
Coach Tab explained about the rip currents and how to get out of rip.
We had a pretty long discussion naman about it po. Swim vertical to the shore po pag may rip current and yeah, and they warned us about yung parang uneven na sand.
Now, don't go away because Money Talks with Kathy Yang is up next to get you ahead of the markets. I'm Pauline Berzosa. Stay tuned to One News.
Welcome to Money Talks. I'm Kathy Yang, your intel on the Philippine markets and the economy. In the headlines, the special session in Congress begins any moment now in response to President Marcos's call for lawmakers to urgently act on priority measures. We bring you live pictures from the Senate. President Marcos is on his way to Russia to hold bilateral talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And Fitch Ratings says the Philippines could face renewed economic disruptions from a prolonged El Nino event that may last until early 2027. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano has conceded that a new Senate president may soon be elected. Citing a conversation with Senator Joel Villanueva, Cayetano said the Gatchalian bloc appears close to securing the numbers needed to install new Senate leadership. The senator added he would not stand in the way of a vote and would respect whomever the chamber lawfully elects. The statement came a day after Cayetano and his allies asked the Supreme Court to intervene in the Senate leadership impasse. The bloc filed a petition seeking to void the June 3 session that elected Senator Sherwin Gatchalian as Senate President pro tempore. The petition questions the quorum, the declaration of vacant posts, and the election of new Senate officers. Cayetano said the move is meant to protect the Constitution and the Senate's independence. He also said he is willing to give up the Senate presidency on one condition.
Kunin na nila lahat, Senate presidency, lahat ng committees. Pero kung sincere sila, iwan sa atin yung Blue Ribbon Committee para ang buong katotohanan. Mag-attend sila. Hindi naman natin gusto ng hearing na isang side lang nandun, pero hindi bibigay.
Meanwhile, the Sandigan Bayan has ordered the 90-day preventive suspension of Senator Jinggoy Estrada. The order stems from the plunder and graft cases filed against him. Estrada said his voluntary surrender shows he will not use his office to influence the case. The senator reiterated he had asked the Senate secretary to suspend the release of his salary. Estrada is accused of receiving up to 573 million pesos in kickbacks from flood control projects. He is currently detained at the new Quezon City Jail. President Marcos has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to fight corruption, calling it a major challenge that undermines government institutions. Marcos made the remarks yesterday during a joint press conference with German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier in Malacanang. That's after he was asked how serious the fight against corruption is in the Philippines. The president said the government continues to pursue reforms, but acknowledged that there is no easy or painless way to address the problem. He went so far as to describe the theft of public funds as the worst form of corruption.
Because what they have taken is not my money or your money or a company's money, it's the money from the people. And that is the worst sin of all, as far as I'm concerned. It's the worst form of corruption, as far as I'm concerned. That's why in this anti-corruption drive that we have, that I have started, there was no way to do it easily or painlessly.
Meantime, Marcos is off to Kazan, Russia to attend the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit. Marcos will co-chair the summit, which is commemorating 35 years of dialogue relations. Marcos will also hold a bilateral meeting with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, in time for the 50th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Manila and Kremlin.
For over 5 decades, our bilateral ties have steadily deepened across trade, education, culture, agriculture, energy, science, and above all, through the sustained bonds between our people. We look forward to building on these foundations and opening new avenues of cooperation for the future.
Philippine enterprises race to adopt cloud and AI, from banks rolling out smarter risk models to BPOs deploying generative AI for customer service. But much of that innovation still runs over the public internet, with all the latency, congestion, and unpredictable performance that come with it. Equinix says it wants to change that. With 3 high-performance data centers in Makati and Carmona, Cavite, the company argues it is connecting Philippine businesses to the industry's largest AI-ready infrastructure ecosystem, a global fabric of more than 280 data centers and hundreds of thousands of private interconnections linking enterprises, clouds, networks, and digital platforms. Well, with us now for more is the Vice President for Growth in Emerging Markets Asia Pacific at Equinix, Max Parry. Good to have you with us, Max.
Thank you so much for having me on, Kathy.
Welcome to the program. What's going on with the interconnections that you've done with Philippine businesses? Because I know that you did that back in October with the Carmona Cavite data center.
Absolutely. So Equinix is the world's digital infrastructure company. We have 280 data centers globally. That's across 36 countries. And around 10,000 global digital enterprises use that platform. Now, here in the Philippines, we brought that platform to the nation last year with the acquisition of 3 data centers. We have 2 in Carmona and 1 in Makati. We have around 1,000 cabinets of capacity to make available to our customers there. And these sites are 100% powered by renewable energy.
So how many have already latched on to that kind of an ecosystem? Because a lot of the Philippine businesses still are using a public internet.
Absolutely, and we believe that there's a better way. So firstly, we've seen amazing take-up of our platform already from Filipino enterprises. We have a strong nucleus of financial services customers. We have all the major networks and ISPs on the platform, and we have a whole range of digital enterprises. And the reason that they're coming to us is actually to bypass some of the unpredictability and lower speeds of the public internet. By coming to our platform, they're enabled to connect directly to those 10,000 digital partners that I mentioned in a way which is inherently secure, it's private, it's cost effective, and it bypasses the public internet.
Well, talk to us about the cost effectivity, because during the past few months, we've seen yellow and red alerts for one. So that intermittency of power has really been a challenge for Philippine businesses at the onset. But how are Philippine businesses latched on to your ecosystem now bypassing that? Could you probably visualize for us what's it like? What are they missing out on what a business should have but cannot have if it's not latched onto the ecosystem?
Sure. Well, first of all, to address your concern about power. So clearly, power is an essential ingredient in this overall solution for customers. We enter into long-term strategic relationships with power providers, and even during periods of intermittent supply in the public power grid, we have our own on-site power generation. In fact, we could power the computers in our data centers for 3 days using on-site power. And so even in times of recent disruption, we're able to provide uninterrupted services to our customers. And more than that, we're able to give them automated real-time reporting in terms of their level of service, which is, I think, a real level of comfort that we can offer those digital enterprises.
So you mentioned financial services. So they're the first customers, is that correct, for all 3 data centers?
We have a wide variety of financial services customers, but it's not just finance. We have companies from all industries. We have, on our global platform, around 2,000 networks, around 3,000 cloud and IT service providers, and pretty much any enterprise that you could name is present on platform Equinix.
Right. When you make a comparison throughout the ASEAN, because you also look after the high emerging markets, high growth emerging markets like India, Indonesia, Thailand, those kinds of markets, how does the Philippine footprint compare to them right now?
I think the Philippines is a unique opportunity for us. So that stems from a number of reasons. Firstly, we've got tremendous high growth in the Philippine digital economy. So last year, Bain tells us that the economy grew 16%, which is a very high growth rate. The country is also very strategically located. So it's one of the most rapidly emerging subsea cable hubs in the region. And also we surveyed our global customers pretty extensively before we made our decisions in terms of where to invest. And we heard loud and clear for them that they wanted to come to the Philippines and bring their digital services. So because the data centers that we've acquired are now connected directly into our global fabric network, we're giving those digital enterprises internationally an easy way to come into the Philippines. And the other way around, we're offering the chance for Filipino enterprises to scale their digital services globally.
Well, what is the one big, maybe come on, if you will, that brought Equinix to the Philippines? Because it cites the potential opportunity, but never really quite in the magnitude of maybe Indonesia or Thailand. What's keeping the Philippines from scaling up much faster than the other ASEAN markets?
I think we're already beginning to see the shift for those reasons that I mentioned, and we heard it loud and clear from our global customer base that this was the next wave of service expansion from them. I also think that increasingly we're seeing Filipino enterprises adopting more and more hybrid multi-cloud services. So this has definitely been the trend internationally. I think over 70% now of digital enterprises globally are using hybrid multi-cloud. Just let me explain what that means. So that means that companies want to use a range of public cloud providers because that gives them best-of-breed services. It means they're not locked in to any one public cloud. It also means that they want the hybrid part. They want to be able to deploy their own private infrastructure in parallel with the public cloud. That can be better for sensitive workloads. It can be better also in terms of some of the regulatory aspects. And so with our platform, we enable that. We've got about 35% market share globally of the public cloud on-ramps. We enable companies to directly transact and connect with them. And also we provision this dedicated space for private infrastructure. Our customers tell us it's like hanging their own server on the side of the public cloud.
But things have changed from October till as we speak. The economy started to slow, inflation still elevated, and it's a higher for longer interest rate scenario. How is that impacting the willingness of Philippine businesses to spend for an AI infrastructure ecosystem at this stage?
We don't see that. We've seen expansion of our existing customer base. We've welcomed new customers onto the platform. And even in these times of more difficult economic background, we see companies looking to innovate. We see companies looking to bring digital services to their customers and their staff at scale and with a distributed fashion. And that's what we're enabling on our platform.
Luzon Economic Corridor, it's a really interesting discussion whenever you speak with government. That's what they're pitching for any investor that want a digitally enabled infrastructure ready story. But how is it looking to you that Luzon Economic Corridor of Subic, Batangas, Manila, and Cavite in creating that ecosystem that's needed to scale up for the next step for a company like Equinix?
Absolutely. I think our data centers that we've acquired here in the Philippines are in Cavite. And I think what we've tried to do globally at Equinix is to enable a distributed platform. We think distance is important. Our solutions allow our customers to shorten the path between their customers, the AI services that they rely on, and the data that those services is drawing from. And so by distributing our platform globally and in corridors like you have mentioned, we enable that path to be shortened and the services to be delivered with more reliability and more speed.
In fact, that's the map over there as we're presenting it on screen. You're in already two parts, that would be Manila and Cavite, but there are other two parts of that, Subic as well as Batangas. Is there any plan towards expanding to those areas and complete the full corridor in Luzon?
Well, firstly, with our existing facilities, we're able to provide low latency connectivity to a broad swathe of the Philippines population. We also have plentiful land for expansion within our existing sites, and across those 1,000 cabinets that I mentioned, we have available space for our customers to expand. So we're going to focus our efforts firstly on providing those services to our customers. We're going to focus on educating our global customer base also about the opportunities for them in the Philippines to bring their digital services in.
So have you got a timeline for that then before you expand further from what you have with the 3 data centers right now?
So we make all of our investment decisions in close consultation with our customers. So that's what brought us to the Philippines in the first place. They were telling us they wanted to expand in Manila, and so that's where we've expanded. And we're going to continue to listen, and if we hear those demand signals coming from the market, we will respond to that.
What about governance and maybe transparency concerns? As we speak, the Senate will be in a special session to sort out the leadership struggle and all that. What kind of maybe conversations you're having at this point with clients who are maybe prospective customers but are thinking around the governance issue?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a key issue for our customer base. For governance purposes, customers need reliability and they need the ability to be able to report on that reliability. So we provide both. Our physical infrastructure that we've provided is inherently secure, it's inherently resilient, it's got backup power, as I mentioned. So it's the best location to deploy private infrastructure. And then the connections that we can offer customers to their business partners, because they bypass the public internet, they're more controllable and they're inherently secure too. And we provide all of this in a way which is supported with very granular reporting. So whichever regulator, government, board of shareholders we need to report to, we can help our customers do that.
So is it a harder sell when you talk about the Philippines with the governance concerns?
I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I'd say that's a key consideration for our customer base globally. And we see that in the economies of the US, of EMEA, Africa, and here in Southeast Asia as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Max. Appreciate the insights.
Thank you, Kathy.
Max Perry of Equinix. We now go to the live pictures from the Senate as it opens its special session this hour. Let's listen in.
Please follow the roll. The Honorable Senator Aquino, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Ejercito, Senator Escudero, Senator Estrada, Senator Go, Senator Rivera, Senator Lacson, Senator Lapi, Senator Ligarda, Senator Marcoleta, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pangilinan. Senator Soto III. Senator Escudero. Senator Estrada. Senator Go. Senator Ontiveros. Senator Lacson. Senator Lapid. Senator Legarda. Senator Marcoleta. Senator Marcos. Senator Padilla. Senator Pangilinan. Senator Soto III. Senator Tulfo Erwin. Senator Tulfo Rafi. Senator Villanueva. Senator Villar Camille. Senator Villar Mark. Senator Zubiri. Senate President Pro Tempore Gatchalian.
With 13 senators present, the chair declares a quorum.
Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the election of the Senate President of the Philippines. I so move.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the election of the Senate President is now in order.
Mr. President, I move to, if I may be able to be recognized, to nominate our Senate President.
Yes, we recognize the Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I rise today to nominate Senate President Pro Temp Sherwin Gatchalian as the President of the Senate of the Philippines. Throughout his public service career as member of the House of Representatives, as mayor of Valenzuela City, and as senator, he has consistently proven his competence, his effective leadership, and his unparalleled work ethic. Siya nga po palagi ang nagsasara ng Senado, staying late in his office even after adjournment. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, I hear complaints from your staff that hindi na po sila nakakauwi ng disenteng oras dahil overwork daw sila, overwork. At palagi nilang tinatanong sa akin, kailan ko daw siya mahahanap ng girlfriend para makauwi daw ng mas maaga. Kaya, Mr. President, ikaw nga po daw ang sinasabi niya nagsasara ng Senado na wala na pong staff, ikaw na lang po naiiwan. And that just shows your dedication, Mr. President, on how hardworking you are in preparing for the days ahead. He has ably led some of our most demanding and time-consuming and consequential committees, namely the Committee on Energy, the Committee on Economic Affairs, the Committee on Basic Education, and most notably, the Committee on Finance. As Finance Chair, he had navigated the very challenging period in the wake of flood control scams coming into light. But he led the Finance Committee with great resolve, spearheading unprecedented initiatives to ensure accountability and transparency in the national budget. I believe that this last budget, my dear colleagues, was one of the most transparent in recent history. As a matter of fact, whatever projects that we wanted to insert or amend into the budget, we had to come up with voluminous requirements and documents coming from the agencies themselves and the receiving bodies like the LGUs. And that was the request, not just the request, it was the demand of then Finance Chair Wing Gatchalian. He's the leader that the Senate needs in this time of division and disarray, and he has done this before. I know he'll be able to rise above the fray and lead us back to our principal function, which is to attend to the work of legislation. I have every confidence that as Senate President, he'll be able to set the institution back on the right path, guided by the highest standards of service, integrity, and morality. To my colleagues, I plead, let us elect Senate President Gatchalian and let us get back to our work in this hallowed institution. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. And maybe we don't need to put it to a vote, Mr. President. Maybe we can do it by acclamation, Mr. President. Ayes and nays would be fine. I so move, Mr. President.
So,
And I move to close. There are no other nominees for Senate President. I move to close the period of nomination.
any objection? Hearing none, the nominations are closed.
Therefore, Mr. President, we'd like to
Therefore,
congratulate.
As you said, to vote
Ayes and nays.
as acclamation. All those in favor of Senator Sherwin Gatchalian as Senate President of the Republic of the Philippines, say aye. Aye. All those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian is declared Senate President of the Republic of the Philippines. May we ask Senator Gatchalian to Oh, before that, Senator Francis Pangilinan is recognized.
Yes, just for the record that the vote having a quorum is unanimous, Mr. President, for the record.
Thank you. We place that on record. May we ask Senator Sherwin Gatchalian to ascend to the rostrum to take his oath as Senate President.
For the record, Mr. President.
Yan po sa ilaw. Spotlight.
May mga kasama ka?
Meron.
Tayo natin.
Sila mix.
Oo, dapat. Mix at saka si Cheese.
Mix.
May we request Senator Zubiri and Senator Escudero to please join us. Dito sila likod ko. Pamilya mo sa likod ko.
Okay.
Mga ex.
Mga
Dito.
Mga X-Men. Yung kayo sa kabila. Yung kayo sa kabila.
Dito kami.
Dito yung family.
Di ba dapat dito kayo? Dito kayo dalawa. Dito. Dito kayo. Yan.
Yung may family.
Alright. Sige.
Pare, first
Tama ba?
bachelor Senate President.
Yung iba pretending.
Mami mo nandiyan naman.
Diyan na. Kompleto na.
Yeah, kompleto na.
Okay. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Sherwin Gatchalian,
Having been elected to the position of Senate President,
having been elected to the position of Senate President,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
the duties of my present
the
position
duties of my present position
and of all others I may hereafter hold
and of all others I may hereafter hold
under the Republic of the Philippines,
under the Republic of the Philippines,
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the Philippines,
the Constitution of the Philippines,
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
and maintain true faith and allegiance
and maintain true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of the Philippines,
to the Republic of the Philippines,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Majority Leader.
Mr. President, just put on record as well that you have been ably discharging your function as Senate President Pro Temp and Acting President since your election in June 3, 2026. We'd just like to extend our congratulations on your elections as the new Senate President.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, now I would like to move that we proceed with the election of the Senate President Pro Tempore. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the election of the Senate President Pro Tempore is in order.
May I ask may we recognize, Mr. President, Senator Ping Lacson for the nomination?
We recognize Senator Ping Lacson.
Thank you, Mr. President. With your honor's ascension as the fourth Senate President of the 20th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines, your previous post as Senate President Pro Tempore is now officially vacant. May I therefore nominate Senator Vicente Soto III to the position of Senate President pro tempore. Before I make my motion, Mr. President, I think I will be remiss of my duty and responsibility as a senator, colleague, and friend if I didn't thank and commend our two distinguished colleagues, Senator Chis Escudero and Senator Joel Villanueva, for responding to their higher calling for this chamber, our beloved institution known as the Philippine Senate, higher than their friendships, their affiliations, and every individual member of this body, even higher than themselves. I would also wish to put on record that I intentionally and voluntarily relinquished the chairmanship of what is known or most or often referred to as the most powerful committee, the Blue Ribbon, for two primary reasons. Number one, I am tired of losing old friends and creating new enemies. And number two, there are other colleagues who are equally, if not more qualified than this humble representation to take on the job. If there were no takers, I was willing, albeit with a heavy heart, to retain and continue sitting as chairman and resume a duty that I am morally and obligated to perform. With that, Mr. President, I move to nominate the position of Senate President pro tempore, Senator or the Honorable Vicente Soto III. I so move, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. And just to give a short manifestation, Mr. President, I'd like to have the privilege to second the nomination of Senator Vicente C. Soto III as a Senate President pro temp. I was his majority leader in all 3 times he was elected as Senate President. It was an honor for me to be his majority leader. He used to call me Major, as the major in the plenary. But I can say from experience that he's second to none when it comes to knowledge of our institutional rules, traditions, and processes. He's what we need in the Senate leadership today. Someone who will protect the stability of the Senate and uphold the rules that give this institution shape and direction. Therefore, I would like to second the nomination of Vicente C. Soto III as our Senate President pro temp. Mr. President, there being no other nominations, I therefore move that we close the period of nomination and proceed with acclamation.
We therefore close the period of nominations and proceed to the voting for the Senate President pro tempore. Those who are in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who are not in favor say nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations to our new Senate President pro tempore, Senator Tito Soto.
May we proceed, Mr. President, with the oath-taking of the Senate President pro tempore. Sabi daw pang retirement position yung Senate President. You want us to be behind you, sir.
Ito pala. Ayan pala.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, dito na kami dumaan, sir.
Ito ka, cheese.
Sa kabila.
Yan.
Sa tabi ko. Ako lang mag-isa.
Okay.
Oath of office, please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Vicente Soto III,
hold
and of all others I may hereafter hold
under the Republic of the Philippines,
under the Republic of the Philippines,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines,
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
and maintain true faith and allegiance
and maintain true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of the Philippines,
to the Republic of the Philippines,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation
reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
JB, sama ka naman dito. Joel din, dating manjo. Wala nang combination.
Hindi, off lang.
Mr. President, if I may be able to take my oath as well as Majority Leader, although I have been elected as the Chairman of the Rules Committee, but I was not able to take my oath the last June 3 meeting.
Yes, we will administer the oath to
Thank you very much,
the
Mr.
Majority Leader.
Ito yung isang Congress na pang-apat na yung Senate President.
Oath of office. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Juan Miguel Zubiri,
Having been elected to the position of Chairperson of the Committee on Rules,
having been elected to the position of Chairperson of the Committee on Rules,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my
the
ability,
duties of my present position,
the duties of my present position,
and of all others I may hereafter hold,
and of all others that I may hereafter hold,
under the Republic of the Philippines,
under the Republic of the Philippines,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines,
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
that I will obey the laws, legal orders, and decrees
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
and remain true faith and allegiance to the Republic of the Philippines,
and remain true faith and allegiance to the Republic of the
and
Philippines,
that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation
without mental
or
reservation
purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Election ng committee, chairperson? Election ng committee chairperson.
Yes. Oh, do you have the list? I don't have it.
Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, we're about to elect the members of the different committees so that we can buckle down to work, Mr.
Correct.
President. But I need just a 1 minute suspension to get the list from the staff.
1 minute suspension.
Good morning mga kapatid. You are watching Morning Matters. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian has been officially elected as Senate President during a special session, 13 senators voted to install Gatchalian as the chamber's new leader. Meanwhile, Senator Tito Sotto has been elected Senate President pro tempore. And of course, Senator Mig Zubiri stays as the majority floor leader. So as expected, pinag-usapan na natin kanina that this is going to be, aside from the legislative agenda or measures, this is going to be, the focus will also turn into the leadership confirmation. No? Sabi natin confirmation because he's been an acting Senate President, si Senator Win Gatchalian. And today, it has been confirmed that he is the third Senate President of the 20th Congress, if I'm not mistaken. It started with Senator Cheese Escudero and then ousted by the Senator Tito Sotto, became the Senate President, and of course Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, and today Senator Win Gatchalian. So fourth.
Oo.
So fourth pala.
Fourth in the 20th Congress in less than a year,
Yeah.
no? Since the 20th Congress opened. Of course, this was also made possible by Senator Joel Villanueva showing up in today's special session. He was the 13th senator to vote and cement Senator Sherwin Gatchalian as the new Senate President. And during his oath-taking earlier, we saw former Senate Presidents Tito Sotto, Mig Zubiri, and Cheese Escudero administering the oath of office of Senator Gatchalian. Ang dami na palang, when you think about it, no, ang dami ng Senate Presidents, former Senate Presidents. But you know, a lot of senators view Senator Gatchalian as a fresh start din kasi for the Senate, right? Amid all the issues that they've faced in the past few weeks and months. So there's a lot of hope and optimism now that Senator Sherwin Gatchalian is leading the upper chamber. It is his second term as a senator. He won back in 2022 and he will be completing his term by the end of 2028.
But before we returned, we saw Senator Migs Zubiri taking his oath because he said he wasn't able to do so noong June 3. And then I think he just asked for a 1 minute suspension to get the list of names. But when they return, they will be talking about the chairpersons. But again, this was already also tackled on June 3. Let's just see kung may magbabago sa mga pangalan sa committees.
Well, it's also good to note that the Cayetano bloc are not there today, no? They are not attending the special session. And to provide insights on the special session and other related matters, we have Dr. Dennis Coronacion, Chairperson of the University of Santo Tomas Department of Political Science, joining us today. Good morning and thank you for joining us, Prof. Nice to see you.
Hi, good morning, ladies. Thank you for having me.
All right, so what is your reaction to this latest development? No, how politically significant is this special session? And right now, Senator Win Gatchalian is elected as the new Senate President officially.
Well, I'm hoping that since
Mr. President, while our colleague or while our
Gatchalian
secretariat is
has
still
been
printing out.
elected
Yes, go ahead, Prof.
formally as Senate President, we do it.
Okay, let's fix the line first of Professor Dennis Coronacion because, we're having technical difficulty at the moment. But right now, you're still watching Morning Matters here on One News, and we are talking about what is currently happening in the Senate, and which is, of course, there is a special session called on by the President and the newly elected Senate President, Senator Win Gatchalian. Now, we move back to Professor Dennis Coronacion. Can you hear us okay?
Oh, yes.
Nako. All right, we'll try to fix that again. We apologize for that technical difficulty to our audience. But as we said, we are talking about the newly elected Senate President, Senator Win Gatchalian, which is the 4th Senate President in the 20th Congress. And as they move forward, they are going to be tackling legislative measures that were, nabinbin because of the Senate leadership fiasco, no? Since actually May 11, 'di ba? Nagkaroon talaga ng kaguluhan since May 11. Nagmansari na nga noong June 11. And finally ngayon, June 17, they have already elected officially their Senate President. Senator Tito Soto is the new Senator
pro tempore.
And of course, Senator Mig Zubiri is, of course, still the majority floor leader.
And he took his oath as well as the chairperson of the Rules Committee because he wasn't able to do that last June 3. The other chairpersons will also be taking their oath in just a few moments. They are just finalizing the list, I believe, as of this moment. But later on in the day, they will be tackling all these pending measures that were set aside because of the issues, as Angela mentioned. Among them, of course, bills that will fast-track aid for quick-hit victims in Mindanao. There's also the pending appointments of several generals, government officials, cabinet secretaries, even the naturalization of some players, diba? Like Benny Boatwright, matagal nang nakabinbin na yan. So that will be tackled all today in the special session. But what's very significant today is that finally this leadership dispute has been settled already. It's been a month. And sabi mo, Angela, di ba, malapit na ang SONA.
Yes.
So at least ngayon alam natin.
Alam mo, sino yung katabi? Walang magkakandungan. Okay.
So,
It is settled right now.
Sherwin Gatchalian.
Yes. Okay, so right now, let's go back to the ongoing special session there at the Senate.
Ejercito, members, Senator Risa Ontiveros, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Lito Lapid, and Senator Raffy Tulfo. We still need 2 members of the majority. I'll wait for the chairperson to give me the names of the 2 additional members. And so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we elect the members of the Committee on Trade, Commerce, and Entrepreneurship. As chairperson, Senator Bam Aquino, and as members, Senator J.V. Ejercito, Senator Cheese Escudero, Senator Manuel Lito Lapid, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, and Senator Raffy Tulfo.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that we elect the members of the Committee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of Codes. The chairperson being Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, and members, Senators Risa Ontiveros, Senator Ping Lacson, Senator J.V. Ejercito, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Lito Lapid, and Senator Cheese Escudero. I so move.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
May I ask for a minute suspension, Mr. President?
1 minute suspension.
All right, so that is the ongoing special session at the Senate. They are currently electing their chairmanship in different committees, but we have, of course, observed that majority senators, except Senator Cheese Escudero, elected members of the Blue Ribbon Panel. So yun yung isa sa mga. So today they declared quorum, with 13 members of the Senate present there today. So kaya tuloy-tuloy lang yung kanilang pag-elect ngayon and officially appointing mga Senate leadership on different committees.
Well, at least wala nang magiging question on quorum because if you just base it on the overall membership of the Senate, which is 24, quorum would be 12 or divided by 2 plus 1. So that's 13, diba? So clearly they have quorum today. That's why they were also able to conduct a special session.
And of course, as of now, still no member of the Cayetano bloc present at the Senate special session. But right now, let's try to go back to our guest today, Professor Dennis Coronacion. Are you there? Can you hear us okay?
Yes, sorry for that technical problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. So right now, let's go back to my question. What is your reaction to this recent development?
Well, we were kind of expecting that. I suppose almost all political analysts would expect that this day is going to come, meaning to say the end of Cayetano's term as Senate President would definitely come, and this is the day, despite doing so many things on the part of Senator Cayetano to prevent this day from coming. So nangyari din sa wakas, and I hope na starting today, yung tinatawag na Senate Flix
Episode,
Ito na yung
will
finale.
come to an end.
Oo. But I have a follow-up
Yeah.
question to Professor Dennis. Senator Joel Villanueva. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Can you hear us okay again? Professor?
Yes.
Okay. Ayun. All right, so I just want to clarify or for follow-up question, Senator Joel Villanueva made it possible to elect the fourth Senate President in the 20th Congress. What do you think happened here? A lot of people are also discussing baka daw may mga agreement behind it. What do you think?
Well, I think I agree with the common observation, na baka nga mayroong mga behind the scene na nangyari. I mean to say, may horse trading, mayroong backdoor negotiations. Kasi I remember before he gave a statement recently, we noticed that when the Ombudsman had a press conference regarding the flood control scandal, yung kaso ng sa Bulacan, yung mga personalities involved, hindi siya napangalanan. So that gave us an idea as to the possible resolution doon sa or rather answer doon sa tanong na meron bang iba pang senators from the Cayetano block that will join the Gatchalian block. So parang nagkaroon tayo ng inkling doon, ng idea, parang sign na yon na maaring naayos na, na-negotiate na yung para kay Senator Joel Villanueva. And this is a confirmation of that theory, na validate na yung ganung guess or theory. And yun, and we also have been hearing na meron pang ibang senators or senator na lilipat pa from the Cayetano block to the Gatchalian block.
Well, Professor, you did mention na expected na yung pagupo ni Senator Sherwin Gatchalian as the Senate President. But did you expect Senator Alan Peter Cayetano to concede the Senate presidency ahead of today's special session?
No, I wasn't expecting that because yesterday I heard from the news reports that his camp had filed a petition before the Supreme Court. Na they're still trying to contest, to dispute what happened last June 3, particularly the leadership of Senator Win Gatchalian. So, parang nakakagulat. Kasi siguro na-realize niya na dumating na talaga sa dead end, that there's no other measure for him o kaya mga last-ditch effort that's available to prevent this day from happening.
Professor, with the executive, with the House of Representatives already recognizing Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, even before Senator Alan Peter Cayetano conceded, was Senator Cayetano's conceding still necessary in the bigger picture? Was this something that he still had to do, had to announce?
Well, I think it's not necessary anymore because
Okay, we will try to fix our connection again with Professor Dennis Coronacion, but for now we will be tossing it back to the special session happening over at the Senate.
So, as I've said, there's no member of the Cayetano.
Yes. So the same
So
situation.
same
as the Blue
situation
Ribbon.
as Blue Ribbon.
Yes.
All right.
So we elect all members except for Senator Lapid as member of the chair Committee on Foreign Relations. So moves, President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, also for the Committee on Science and Technology, I move that we elect the members, the chairperson being Senator Bam Aquino, the members being Senator J.V. Ercito, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, and Senator Risa Ontiveros. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, I'd like to also move to elect the members of the Committee on Justice. The chairperson being Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, Vice Chairperson Senator Ping Lacson, and members Senator Risa Ontiveros, Senator Bam Aquino, and Senator Joel Villanueva.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
And also like to designate, for the record, Senator Ping Lacson as one of the vice chairpersons of the Blue Ribbon Committee. I forgot to mention earlier.
So noted.
May I ask for a minute suspension, Mr. President?
1 minute suspension.
Okay, so that is the ongoing special session at the Senate, wherein a few moments ago, they have officially elected Senator Win Gatchalian as the Senate President and the Senator Tito Soto as the President pro tempore, and of course, still Majority Floor Leader Senator Miguel Zubiri. And right now, there seems to be a suspension of sessions in regards of the election of the committee chairs. No? But earlier today, as I've said, there are still no member of Cayetano Bloc present in that special session. And they have already elected, or majority senators, except Senator Francis Escudero, elected members of Blue Ribbon Committee. And we will try again. Professor Dennis Coronacion, Chairperson of the University of Santo Tomas Department of Political Science. Professor, hello and good morning once again.
Yes, hi, good morning also.
Okay. And to Cheska's question.
Yes, Professor, was Senator Alan Peter Cayetano's concession still necessary?
Well, it's not necessary because, as I said earlier, his colleagues have already decided regarding his fate and regarding the fate of Senator Win Gatchalian. So, with or without his concession, he still be deposed. He would still be ousted from position as Senate President. So, ano lang yan, kumbaga man, it's just a good gesture on his part. For conceding and I suppose for being magnanimous.
Okay, and Professor, today, none of the members of the Cayetano Bloc have attended this special session. What message does that send to the public?
Well, that only means that they do not like what's happening. Gusto nila sila pa rin siguro yung well, they think that they're still the majority, even though their numbers have continued to be depleted. Dahan-dahan lang nauubos yung kanilang mga kasamahan sa kanilang block. And I think hindi magandang hindi magandang gesture yung kanilang hindi pag-attend sa special session na to. Kasi nga that means na that sends a message to the public that they are bitter, that they no longer have been dominating the Senate, that they don't have the leadership of the Senate anymore. So sana maging rin sila, magnanimous, tanggapin na nila kung ano yung nangyayari ngayon. And lahat ng mga binabanggit nilang mga bases so as to challenge the leadership of Senator Win Gatchalian and the new majority, wala na ho ngayon. In fact, yung mga basis na yun or the reasons kung bakit na formalize na yung pag-upo ni Senator Wingate Saliana as Senate President.
But Professor, what do you make of the Villars, with the recent happening at the Senate? Although there are no confirmation yet, but there are talks that Senator Mark Villar will cross over as well, leaving his sister on the other side of the fence. What do you think of that move?
Well, I think on the part of the Villars, parang ano nila yan they are engaged in hedging since they think that the future is uncertain. Ang ginawa nila, one of the siblings will remain with the Cayetano block, and then the other one will cross over to the other block, to the new majority. So that usually happens, in the Senate, na yung magkapatid, magkaiba sila ng yung isa nasa majority, yung naman isa nasa minority. I think that also happened with the Cayetano siblings, before this leadership issue. Nasa opposition si Cayetano, tapos si Alan Peter Cayetano, and then his sister is with the administration or the majority. So that's common. Pero tingin ko it's part of their strategy, the Villar strategy, to in navigating the uncertain things that are happening in the Senate.
All right. Also, I'd also like to ask regarding what Senator Ping Lacson said, that regarding the senator judges, you have to face it. There are a lot of, or some members of the Senate are facing personal cases of their own. Do you agree that dapat payagan na bumoto itong mga may kaso na ito? But for example, itong si Senator Jinggoy Estrada, he's already suspended. Senator Bato de la Rosa is nowhere to be found. But for those who can vote, not in the Senate, will that be okay in the public, in the eyes of the public?
I think some conditions have to be met before they're allowed to be voted. To vote together. Una, tawag dito, in the case of Senator Jinggoy Estrada, I think he should not be allowed because he is suspended as a senator, meaning to say he cannot exercise all the powers that are given to the senator, including voting in the impeachment trial. So that's going to last for 90 days. So he's a president. Now, so far as Senator Pepe na suspended, nagtatagil lang naman siya, pwede naman siya magpakita, and at saka hindi pa naman siya na convicted. So alam naman natin sa bansa natin na if a case is filed against you, for as long as there's no guilty verdict, you're to be presumed innocent. At kapag inosente ka pa, pending trial, I think all the rights, including yung political rights, you can still exercise.
Well, as they've said, Senator Jinggoy Estrada could actually seek court's permission, like kung ano yung ginawa ni Senator Laila de Lima at that time. Unfortunately, hindi naman siya pinayagan. But moving forward, Professor, what do you think about Senator Rodante Marcoleta saying that whatever happens and he feels that the arrest warrant is, just around the corner against him, and he said he will continue to pursue flood control inquiry. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's part of his powers as a senator, so pwede naman niyang gawin yon. But the problem is, the power has shifted in the Senate. He's no longer part of the majority. So I don't know if he can still dictate the agenda of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Kasi part na siya ng minority. Siguro all he can do as a member of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and as part of the minority is to cross-examine, to ask questions to the resource persons. Pero insofar sa the agenda, say for example, insisting on inviting the resource persons that were included in the list that they released. Hindi na yung masusunod. Halimbawa, imbitahan si former House Speaker Martin Romualdez kasi yung kanilang listahan na naunguna sa listahan na gusto nilang imbestigahan, baka hindi na masunod yun because he's no longer in the majority.
Professor, can we also get your thoughts on the events that transpired yesterday? The so-called Blue Ribbon Committee hearing announced by former Congressman Mike Defensor that turned into a press briefing, the introduction of new bagmen.
Yeah, that's really funny kasi to begin with, who is former Congressman Mike Defensor? Does he have the power to call for a meeting of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee? Tama ko si Senator Win Gatchalian. Nung sa mga interview, sabi niya, sino ba yan? Siya ba ay senador? Siya ba ay miyembro ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee? Siya ba ay Senate President? So, since Mike Defensor does not have any of those titles, he doesn't have the power to call for a meeting. Kaya nga nakakatawa yung nangyari kahapon. Siya na yung nagpapatawag ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. And as expected, magulo yan. Kasi tingin ko nga, ginagamit lang yan not really to reveal the truth regarding the maleta. Kung hindi, for a political narrative. Oo. So, yun lang ang so far as I'm concerned, yun lang ang nakikita kong value niyan eh. Hindi na naman talaga yung makakatulong sa mga investigations. Instead, makakagulo pa yan.
Well, Professor, it seems that this flood control investigation and the Blue Ribbon Committee itself is now being a point of contention between these two blocs in the Senate, the majority and the minority. And yesterday, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano even said that they can get the Senate presidency and all the committees, pero dapat daw iiwan sa kanila itong Blue Ribbon Committee. He raised questions on the credibility of the majority in leading this investigation. But what are your thoughts on this narrative that is being emphasized by the Cayetano bloc? Because right now, there's a lot of confusion already kung sino ba talaga yung after accountability dito sa flood control scandal.
Well, actually, with regard to the question of which side, which bloc is really pursuing accountability with regard to the flood control mess, it's really quite hard to tell. Kasi it's quite obvious that both blocs have an agenda whenever they would conduct the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearings. Mas subtle nga lang doon sa majority bloc ngayon. It's not as obvious and as blatant as the Cayetano bloc's conduct of in terms of showing their political bias. Pareho lang naman sila may political agenda and political bias. It's just that between the two camps, parang mas somehow merong mas semblance of truth or somehow merong semblance of pursuit of truth doon sa Gatchalian block. So if we were to choose between the two blocks in terms of which one is set or is more determined to find out the truth, tingin ko doon tayo sa Gatchalian block.
Well, speaking of the Gatchalian bloc, Prof, just a few moments ago, it was actually Senator Cheese Escudero who requested not to be part of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Of course, we know he is also the subject of an investigation in the flood control scandal. What do you make of this move by Senator Cheese himself to be excluded from this Blue Ribbon Committee?
I think it's a right move on the part of Senator Cheese Escudero. You're right in pointing out that he's one of those senators that is being investigated by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. So it's just right for him to inhibit himself from, becoming a member of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Kasi hindi rin magandang magiging imahe niyan later on pag natuloy na investigation. When let's just imagine a situation na if it's his turn to ask questions, hindi maniniwala yung mga tao, yung mga nanonood, yung publiko. Kasi isipin nila, ito na naman, pro-protection na naman niya yung sarili niya, ide-depensa niya yung sarili niya. So, that's maganda yung ginawa ni Senator Chis Escudero.
But what do you make of the possibility that Senator Chis Escudero might be presiding the impeachment trial come July 6, when in fact we all know that he carries this baggage of failure regarding the forthwith issue last Congress?
Kaya nga medyo naano rin ako doon, napaisip. Sabi ko medyo tricky yun, Why would you put Senator Chis Escudero as the presiding officer when in fact I think in the Senate rules, in the impeachment rules, it should be the Senate President. Tapos
But they have a Senate
proposal pa nga.
resolution, Prof. There's a Senate resolution allowing elected participant or elected Senate member to preside the impeachment trial.
Ako, I question the wisdom of that resolution. Maaring legally allowed, pero morally speaking, is it the correct move on the part of the senators? Oo, ako hindi, parang kasi, as you were saying, he was the one responsible for the delay and for the dismissal of the articles of impeachment that was filed by against the Vice President last year. Siya yung principal actor kung bakit na-dismiss yun at saka na-delay. And yet, here we are. I don't know what the reason behind it. Gagawin mo siyang presiding officer in the impeachment trial. So, do we expect a deja vu or do we expect a different behavior on the part of Senator Chis Escudero? Baka naman maayos na yung pag-handle niya ngayon. Kung matutuloy man yan, yung Senate resolution, well, I do hope that Senator Chis Escudero will not be the Senator Chis Escudero that we saw last year in the impeachment, when the impeachment court was convened.
Well, go ahead.
Professor, you already mentioned legally allowed, morally questionable. No? Can you cite more examples of incidents in the past month or so, nag-month sa rin na nga, that can be, quoted as legally allowed but morally questionable?
I can think of anything right now, pero yun na nga, yung past actions ni Senator Chis Escudero I think should disqualify him from becoming a Senate, the presiding officer of the impeachment trial. Tapos legally speaking, I can think of a jurisprudence that allows such action on the part of the Senate.
All right, thank you so much for your time and insights, Dr. Dennis Coronacion. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Now at this point, let's check the situation over at the Senate. We have mobile journalist Meremon Reyes. Meremon, ano na ang nangyayari dyan ngayon?
Ladies, good morning. So far, dahil nabuo na yung current composition ng Senado, formally elected at nag-take na rin ng oath si Senator Sherwin Gatchalian as Senate President, Senator Tito Soto as Senate President Pro Tempore. Ngayon, kinukompleto na yung i-elect sa ibang mga committee chairmanship. Si Senator Midzubiri, still majority leader, plus siya ang Senate Committee on Rules chairman. Ngayon, inayos na nila yung ilang mga komite. Pero this is more on the majority side kasi yung upuan sa kabilang side, kapag ka nakaharap sa rostrum right side, yung mga table at upuan ng minority bloc senators ay lahat bakante. So nadagdag sa Blue Ribbon Committee na chairman, bukod kay Senator Kiko Pangilinan, si Senator Ping Lacson, pati ang mga miyembro nga nito, lahat ng senador from the majority except Senator Chis Escudero. Sa Senate Committee on Social Justice, ang chairman si Senator Erwin Tulfo, Vice Chairman Senator Risa Ontiveros. Sa Energy, ang chairman din Senator Erwin Tulfo, Vice Chairman Senator J.V. Ejercito, yung ibang mga members pa sila Senator Risa Hontiveros, Bam Aquino, Lito Lapid, Senator Raffy Tulfo, kailangan pa raw dito ng 2 miyembro. Sa Trade and Commerce Committee naman, ang chairman nito Senator Bam Aquino, members sila Senator J.V., Senator Cheese, Senator Lito, Kiko, and Raffy Tulfo. Constitutional Amendment, ito yung hawak last time ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan and then nabitawan niya dahil nga naging minority sila pero ngayon majority sila kay Senator Kiko Pangilinan na ulit ito. Members ito sila Senator Risa, Senator Ping, Senator J.V. Bam, Lito, and Chis Escudero. Sa Agriculture, still hawak na ulit ito ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan as chairman, ang vice chairman, Senator J.B. Ejercito, members, sila Senator Bam, Rizal, Lito, Erwin, Rafi, Cheese, and Joel. Sa basic education, si Senator Bam Aquino nga ang chairman nito, ang kasama niya dito ng mga miyembro, sila Senator J.B., Senator Risa, Lito Lapid, Kiko Pangilinan, Rafi Tulfo, Erwin, and Senator Joel. Sa Commission on Appointments, ang members nito, sina Senator Lacson, Senator Mig, Senator Joel, Risa, Soto, Rafi, and JV. And then sa yung Electoral Tribunal, ang members nito, Senator Bam, Kiko, Senator Lito Lapid, and Senator Jesus Cordero. Actually, marami-rami pa yung mga committees, pero ngayon, napupunan na nila ang mga ito, and sa huli nating pagmumonitor, mukhang maisasalang na rin yung ibang mga panukala na for today's special session. Ladies.
Merimon, can you confirm as of now, wala pa ring miyembro mula sa Cayetano Block ang nandiyan ngayon sa Senate, sa session, ano? And makikita ba nila ito na would cause delay doon sa usapin ng impeachment kung hindi sila papasok?
Angela, so far, yung simula kanina hanggang sa pagpapatuloy or pagsisimula ng special session, wala. Bakante yung upuan ng minority senators. Ang nakita lang natin, si Senator Joel Villanueva na dumating at ngayon nakaupo na sa side ng majority block senators. And ito na yung confirmation na hindi lang attendance yung kanyang pakay or yung kanyang pagpunta, kundi yung pag-aanib na rin sa majority block. Kaya selyado na. Buong-buo na nila yung quorum na sinasabi nila. Pero so far, wala pang nasasabi ang liderato ngayon ni Senator Gatchalian sa magiging proseso o daloy ng impeachment. Pero ang huli kasi niya sinabi, all systems go pa rin naman daw ito, hindi nababago yung bilang ng boto na kinakailangan. Ito kasi yung isang parang kinwestiyon ni Senator Cayetano na baka magkaroon ng difference na naman sa interpretations ng botohan. Pero nilinaw kahapon ni Senator Gatchalian, as far as the Constitution is concerned, 16 senators pa rin ang kinakailangan o 2/3 na vote para ma-impeach ang isang isinasalang. O sa kesa nga ito, si Vice President Sara Duterte. Bukas, inaasahan pa rin yung pagsisimula ng pre-trial conference. So wala pa namang indication na magkakaroon ng paghahadlang o disruption sa daloy ng impeachment proceedings, pero still ang target pa rin nila July 6 ang trial, and ngayon ang presiding officer selyado na si Senator Gatchalian na.
Merimon, balikan ko lang yung committee memberships, especially yung Blue Ribbon Committee, because ang parte niyan ay lahat ng majority members except for Senator Cheese Escudero. May paliwanag ba siya kung bakit siya mismo yung nagpasya na hindi na sumali dito sa Blue Ribbon Committee?
Pauline, so far ngayon kahit nangungulit tayo, wala pang pagpapaliwanag tungkol dyan. Pero ang nililinaw pa rin nila, 17 members ng Blue Ribbon, pati na rin yung sa ex-officio members, so lahat ng members sa majority except Senator Cheese ang kanilang inelect sa Blue Ribbon. Pero again, yung explanation dito kay Senator Escudero kung bakit hindi siya napabilang o makakasama as member ng Blue Ribbon, wala pang explanation so far. Pero isa kasi kung lalagyan lang natin ng konteksto na dadawit din kasi ang pangalan ni Senator Cheese dito nga sa maanumalyang flood control projects, maging ibang mga akusasyon na may kinalaman sa korupsyon. So, kinukulit natin sila na makapanayam sana ang senador, pero inaantabayanan muna natin kapag magkaroon ng oras dito sa special session.
So si Senator Joel Villanueva, Merimon, parte ng Blue Ribbon Committee because siya rin ay iniimbestigahan, di ba, dito sa flood control scandal.
Oo, Pauline, pero since sabi nga lahat ng majority members or majority block senators except Senator Cheese ay magiging part doon, so that also includes ngayon si Senator Joel Villanueva. Pero kanina naman ang narinig natin kay Senator Erwin Tulfo, ang mensahe niya raw sa minority block senators, kalimutan na raw yung mga nangyari, tapos na raw ito, yung mga nasabi, nagawa. Sports na lang daw, magtrabaho na raw ulit. Kaya hinihikayat o inaasahan na nitong mga senador from the majority block na dadalo o papasok itong mga senador from the minority para na raw maipagpatuloy ang trabaho ng Senado. Plus, yung sabi ni Senator Tulfo, yung petition naman na final ng Cayetano Block kahapon na in-urge ang Supreme Court to declare null and void yung June 3 session, na kilalanin pa rin yung liderato ni Cayetano. Sabi ni Senator Erwin, mukhang baka maging moot na raw yun dahil eto na, nasemento na si Senator Gatchalian. So, nasunod na yung at least 13 senators, yung decisive majority para makapag-elect ng Senate officers. Kaya yung susunod na mga linggo, yun yung aabangan natin kung ano na yung magiging dynamics ngayon ng majority at minority blocks.
Marymon, another point of interest dun sa petition nga that you just mentioned was yung walang signatures ni Senators Joel Villanueva and and Mark Villar. We've seen Senator Joel Villanueva present there at the special session. May information ba tayo on the whereabouts of Senator Mark Villar?
Jessica, according to the office of Senator Mark Villar kahapon, kasi nangulit din tayo tungkol dyan, wala kasi yung pangalan nila doon sa petition. Ang huling nasabi ay nasa ibang bansa daw ang senador due to personal reasons. Pero nung tinatanong din natin kagabi kung may indication ba o may plano bang pumasok dito ang senador, sabi ng kanyang opisina, so far magsasabi raw sila kapag may communication na from the senator. Pero as of today, hindi naman natin nahagilap si Senator Mark and wala pang bagong info so far mula sa kanyang opisina. Yung kay Senator Joel, yun yung isa sa mga itatanong natin sa kanya. Pero kung sakali man, ito na yung kasagutan. Umanib siya sa majority. So this could be the answer kung bakit wala siya doon sa petitioners na kini-question yung June 3 session maging yung legalities ng pagbubuo ng liderato ni Gatchalian.
All right, thank you so much, Marymon Reyes, for that updates.
Meantime, the 18 individuals who identify themselves as former bodyguards of former Representative Zaldico are set to appear before the Ombudsman for fact-finding. And for more details, let's bring in our mobile journalist, Arles De Los Santos. Arles, nagpakita na ba ang 18 alleged bagmen dyan?
Magandang umaga, ladies. Pauline, specifically, nasa tansya natin ay 5 mga umano'y bagmen ang dumating na nga dito sa Office of the Ombudsman para sa pagpapatuloy ng fact-finding investigation ng anti-graft body na ito kaugnay ng kanilang mga alegasyon na nag-deliver umano sila ng male-maleta na mga pera sa ilan mga personalidad. Ang ilan dyan, mga dating mga mambabatas at ang ilan ay kasalukuyang mambabatas, maging ang ilang umano'y mga mamamahayag. So far, ang nakumpirma pa lamang natin, Pauline, na dumating dito ay si Johnny Boduan na nauna nang humarap noong nakaraang Biyernes. At siya yung unang pinatawag dito at humarap. At ayon sa kanya, pinangalanan niya nga umano ang mambabatas na kanyang pinagdeliveran ng around nasa 20 to 30 million pesos sa mismong bahay nito. Pero hindi niya pinangalanan kung sino ito at ipinaubayan na sa Office of the Ombudsman ang impormasyon na kanyang ibinigay.
Arles, sabi mo 5 lang ang nagpakita today. May update ba doon sa ibang alleged bagmen ni Zaldico?
Well, ang alam natin, Pauline, on how this fact-finding investigation will unfold ay hahati-hatiin o iisa-isahin sila na kunan ng mga tanong. So ang mangyayari, pagdating nila dito, ilan lamang sa mga alleged bagman yung darating. Nung Friday, isa, ngayon nasa 5. And then on the coming days ay ilan-ilan pa rin yung darating hanggang makompleto ngayong 18. But we will confirm kung madadagdagan pa yan kasi ang count natin kahapon ay parang nasa 22 na sila, And ang mangyayari kapag dumating sila dito sa Office of the Ombudsman, magkakaroon ng question and answer or probe yung anti-graft body dito at mula roon ay bubuuin yung kanilang individual affidavit, dahil matatandaan natin na si Ombudsman Boyeng Remulla mismo ang nagsabi na kailangan may individual affidavit sila para mag-materialize o gumulong yung kanilang mga alegasyon. Though sinabi naman ng Office of the Ombudsman na masyado pang maaga para sabihin na didiretso nga sa Sandigan Bayan ang mga kaso na maaaring makuha sa mga investigasyon na kanilang ginagawa. And hayaan daw muna natin yung mga investigador na isagawa yung kanilang mga trabaho at abangan kung ano nga ba yung magiging sunod na hakbang dito.
Oo. So yun nga yung gusto natin malaman kasi after nitong pagkuha ng mga affidavit, isa-isa, individually dito sa alleged bagman ni former Congressman Zaldico, ano yung mangyayari? At ano din mangyayari doon sa mga panibagong personalities that were tagged by these alleged bagmen?
Well, at least as far as we know about John Angela, kaparehas pa din yung mangyayari. Kung sino man yung magsasabi na nag-deliver siya ng ganitong halaga ng pera sa personalidad na ito or mambabatas na ito, kailangan pa din na makuha yan doon sa kanyang affidavit. And syempre, yung mga ebidensya na kanyang maibibigay patungkol dito. And then, at least for the part ng Office of the Ombudsman, kapag kami mga reklamo naman silang natatanggap, ay dumadaan yan lahat sa investigation, preliminary investigation, and then bibigyan ng pagkakataon yung sinumang personalidad na alleged may involvement or delivery na natanggap, and then from there on, doon na bubuuhin, no, o tatansyahin ng Ombudsman kung may probable cause nga ba o yung tinatawag natin, no, na prima facie na conviction na tinatawag, pero masyado pang maaga para yan ay ating banggitin. Though yung ilan naman ng mga personalidad na pinangalanan kahapon, kagaya ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan, ay itinagi na yung alegasyon na ito.
Kasama ba, would you know, nitong alleged bagman na ito si former Congressman Mike Defensor? The reason why I'm asking kasi kung sakasakali makausap mo ba siya o nakausap mo na regarding sa mga susunod nilang mga appearances regarding their accusations sa iba't ibang mga taong allegedly involved sa flood control project?
Well, ang kanilang legal counsel, Angela, no, ay si Attorney Levito Levi Baligod na nakausap natin noong nakaraang Biyernes, pero pagdating ng nasa 5 bagman nga ngayong araw dito sa Ombudsman ay hindi natin siya nakita. No? We received an information that currently he's in a private meeting, no, and around 12 noon ay darating nga siya rito. No? And syempre, hiling pa rin natin ang matanong siya ng ilang mga impormasyon, no? Kasi napakaingay ngayon sa social media, Angela, ng mga agam-agam na tila kung sino yung nasa kabila, no, yung against sa Duterte bloc or Duterte personalities, yun yung mga nababanggit dito. And syempre, kinu-question din yung validity or yung credibility ng mga bagmen na ito dahil bakit tila may dagdag bawas nga raw na nangyayari. No? So ayan, yung mga we're hoping, no, na masagot ni Attorney Levito Baligod dito, and kung ano man yung magiging posisyon at paninindigan ng mga umunoy bagmen sa kanilang mga alegasyon.
Arles, dun sa media briefing with former Congressman Mike Defensor yesterday, he said na kaya nila ginawa yun kasi that might be the last chance for the bagmen to speak because of the special session happening today. But wouldn't the proper forum be also at the Blue Ribbon Committee that hearing that they were also invited to, I think, na nag-press conference sila sa office ni Senator Robin Padilla. So, do we have any updates kung ano ang plano nila if they will participate in the upcoming Blue Ribbon Committee hearings at the Senate?
For now, Cheska, wala pang confirm na next move, no? Pero at least yung sinabi ni Attorney Defensor kahapon na that might be their last chance, no? At least for them, ayun yung mangyayari, no? Pero alam natin sa paparating pang mga araw ay ipatatawag sila dito sa Office of the Ombudsman para sa fact-finding investigation. And then patungkol naman doon sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, tignan natin kung sa pagbabago ng liderato ng Senado ay muli silang ipatatawag, at syempre ang malaking tanong kung ipapatuloy yung probe patungkol nga sa bilyong-bilyong pisong halaga ng umano'y pangungulimbat at pangungurakot kaugnay ng flood control scandal ng ating pamahalaan.
All right, well, thank you very much for that report. That was mobile journalist Arles de los Santos.
At this point, let's head over to the House of Representatives for the latest mobile journal. Amy Atienza is now reporting live on the ground. Amy, what's happening there?
Yes, good morning, Angela, Cheska, and Paulino. Dito naman sa House of Representatives, technically nakasuspend yung session, and kanina naririnig na rin natin yung ilan sa mga congressista doon. Nag-convene pa rin naman sila at around 9 a.m. para nga sa special session. Ang isa kasi sa mga nasasabi din dito at binibigyang focus dito sa Kamara, ayun nga sa impeachment ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Kanina, narinig natin si Deputy Speaker Paulo Ortega V ng La Union, at nasabi niya na dapat daw dinedevote na ng Senado yung atensyon nila sa impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Isa nga din sa mga matagal na nating inaabangan ay itong pagsisimula din ng impeachment trial ni VP Sara na expected ng House Prosecution Panel ay magsisimula na ng July 6. Pero isa din sa mga inaasahan pa natin ay yung pagkakaroon nga nitong pre-trial conference kung saan ang sinasabi ay meron daw silang briefing na mangyayari kasama nga yung panig ni Vice President Sara Duterte maging ng Senado bukas, June 18, sa Senado, at pag-uusapan din nila yung marking of evidence, pati na rin yung mga witness na kinakailangan para nga dun sa impeachment trial. As of now, ang nakuha nating numbers ay nasa around 57 daw yung isinumiteng pangalan ng House Prosecution Panel na para nga mag-testify sa end ng public prosecutors. At ang inaabangan pa natin ay sino nga ba yung iba pang sasama sa prosecution team para nga na private prosecutors, no, private lawyers, para nga matulungan din mismo itong end ng House of Representatives na maipresenta yung mga ebidensya na nakapaloob dun sa 4 na articles of impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. At kung maalala nga natin, nandoon yung bribery, andun din yung grave threat, at pati na rin confidential funds and unexplained wealth ng vice. At yun nga yung isa sa mga tinitingnan nila. So far ngayon dito sa House of Representatives, no, ay inaantabayanan pa natin kung ano pa nga ba yung mangyayari kasi technically suspended pa lang din yung session at baka may marinig pa tayo, no, na ilan sa mga magsasalitang lawmaker dito, pero ang nasabi naman at nasiguro din ni House Speaker Boji D ay lahat ng bills na nakapaloob doon sa priority measures ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, kabilang na nga din dyan yung anti-political dynasty bill, pati na rin yung mga bills na tutugon sa disinformation, maging yung Kalinga Act na tutugon naman sa oil crisis ay natalakay naman ng Kamara bago nga matapos yung first regular session dito. At isa pa sa inaabangan nila ngayon ay yung preparations na nga din para sa 2026 State of the Nation Address ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Okay, Amy, quickly lang, may naging statement ba ang mga kongresista dyan sa House of Representatives doon sa developments na nangyayari nga sa Senado? Ano? Ngayon na-formalize na yung Senate presidency ni Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, pati na rin yung pag-concede ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano.
Yes, isa sa mga narinig natin at nakuha natin kanina ay yung press statement din nitong Makabayan Block Representative Polino na kabilang nga dito si Representative Antonio Tino, Representative Sara Elago at Representative Renico. At nasabi nila yung pagbabago sa Senate leadership, hindi daw niyan mabubura yung korupsyon na kinakaharap din lalo na sa upper house. Nung iba pa nga mga na sa posisyon, lalo na dahil ang dinedemand daw kasi ng taong bayan ay accountability, lalo na doon sa implicated na flood control scam. Kasi kahapon, tinutukan din natin yung supposed hearing para nga sa Blue Ribbon Committee ay hindi nga nagpakita no, yung ilan sa mga miyembro ng Cayetano Block doon sa Senado. No? At ang giit lang din naman dito no, ng Makabayan ay ipagpatuloy nga daw yung investigation ng corruption, hindi lamang sa flood control, kundi pati na rin sa iba pang mga issue na tutuunan na hindi nabibigyan ng pansin no sa dito nga sa ating gobyerno. So yun lang naman yung nasabi nila at tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung pag-monitor daw nila dito nga sa nangyayari sa Senado.
All right, thank you Mobile Journal Amy Atienza.
Alright, so a lot happened today, but of course, as we were talking about it yesterday, officially Senator Win Gatchalian is the new Senate President of this 20th Congress, 4th Senate President. And hopefully, I don't know, with no political leaning, it stays that way because nga kasi ang daming mga nabibinbin na mga trabaho. Plus, the impeachment proceeding is just right around the corner. And Senator Lacson lauded Senator Joel Villanueva and Senator Chis Escudero for showing up today, for responding to their higher calling. And actually, si Senator Mig Subira naman lighten up the mood by saying na papahanap nga daw ng girlfriend si Senator Win Gatchalian para makauwi na daw siya na maaga, just to lighten up the mood. Sobrang ang dami na daw nangyayari kasi, di ba, dito sa Senado. But hopefully, kidding aside, they will, work. And hopefully, the Cayetano Block, as Senator Alan Peter Cayetano said, that will adhere naman daw, di ba, sa new leadership ng Senate, ay magpakita na rin sila sa Senado.
Hopefully, they will thresh out all their differences and set aside already all this leadership dispute, because it's not good for the Senate as an institution. Professor Dennis Coronacion mentioned earlier that the Cayetano Block not showing up today looks, the optics of that is they look bitter.
Bitter
so,
nga daw.
diba?
Hindi pa makamove forward.
Oo, so yung dynamics ngayon, tignan natin moving forward, but hopefully this is a sign of good things to come.
So, can we officially declare the leadership row settled?
Nako, mahirap
Are we
baka mausog.
My goodness, this has been the question we've been asking for how many
Since day one of Morning Matters.
Baka mausog.
Oo
Pero
nga,
yeah,
day
so
one
far,
pala.
Diba?
Well, technically speaking, diba,
Since
tapos
last
na
month.
yon.
Yes.
Okay, and that wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
We hope we've given you just the right start to your morning. I'm Cheska Liton-Calo.
Let's make the day matter. I'm Pauline Verzosa, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Kapatid, we are One News.
All sides,
all the time.